How did the 1998 Russian financial crisis affect the oligarchs? Have you ever wondered how a financial crisis can change the landscape of power and wealth? The 1998 Russian financial crisis did just that, especially for the oligarchs. These were the powerful businessmen who emerged during the post-communist era, taking advantage of the privatization of state assets. When the crisis hit, it involved the Russian government and the central bank devaluing the ruble and defaulting on its debt. This led to severe economic turmoil that shook the foundations of the oligarchs' wealth. Initially, many financial oligarchs faced significant challenges. Those heavily involved in banking and debt markets found their fortunes weakened or even wiped out. The default and ruble devaluation undermined their financial holdings. Many of these oligarchs had engaged in risky financial strategies instead of investing in stable industries. This created a situation where only the strongest could survive, marking a clear divide among them. On the other hand, oligarchs connected to the energy sector, particularly oil and gas, experienced a different journey. They initially suffered due to falling oil prices, a consequence of the Asian financial crisis. However, as oil prices rebounded, these energy oligarchs regained their strength and influence. They even rallied political support behind Vladimir Putin in the 1999 parliamentary elections, showcasing their ability to adapt to the changing political landscape. The crisis also shifted the political power dynamics in Russia. The influence of financial oligarchs was punctured, and some politicians began advocating for the nationalization of oligarchs' assets. This reflected a backlash against their previous dominance. The government, under a new prime minister appointed during the crisis, started to limit the oligarchs' control over political decisions. This marked the end of an era where these tycoons could operate without checks. From a cultural perspective, the crisis revealed the instability and inequities of the post-communist capitalist system in Russia. The oligarchs, who had amassed vast wealth through a privatization process often viewed as corrupt, were shown to be vulnerable to market forces and government actions. The crisis highlighted how dismantling communist economic structures led to wealth concentration among a few, while the broader population faced economic hardship. Calls for asset nationalization echoed communist ideals of reclaiming control over key economic resources from private hands. In summary, the 1998 financial crisis severely disrupted the financial empires of many oligarchs, particularly those in finance. While energy oligarchs eventually recovered, the crisis diminished their unchecked power and open discussions about reclaiming state control over the economy. This reflected the ongoing tensions in Russia's transition from communism to capitalism and the social consequences of that shift.